Actually,
Yeah.
just go off or whatever,
Right.
if you want.
Well, I missed like half of what you said, but I see that Wes posted that we are live, so I guess we're live, man. So,
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
hey guys, Troy Eggery and Joe Lyle and Wes Wingo on air tonight, and just wanted to kick off real quick. Wes Wingo he is not on camera and is not on mic, which means we can make fun of him as much as we want to tonight because he can't defend himself. So we'll make it a point to do that. And tonight's going to be quick. Obviously, Friday night. I know a lot of people already have plans and stuff like that, but obviously you're serious enough to be here tonight. You're serious enough about your business, so we definitely want to take that into account and not keep you here too long. But Joe has some awesome stuff that he wants to share with you, and we'll kind of tag team back and forth and kind of just start off where we left off. I had a couple questions come in from a lot of people, and I want to get those answered and kind of just move forward through the process and just kind of help you guys out the best we can. If you have any questions, there should be a question box somewhere on the page. I don't know exactly where it is, but feel free to ask questions and participate, and we'll do our best to get those questions answered for you. But without further ado, Joe, you want to take over?
Yeah. Thanks, Troy, and yeah, wish you could be. I mean, Wes is here, but he can't say nothing. But yeah, Troy's got. Do I?
I was gonna say he's here in spirit, so we can make fun of his head. We can make fun of, I mean, whatever we want to say, man.
I won't say what I was gonna say. Now, Troy, I know you got some good stuff too, and a little bit different stuff. But I just kind of wanted to go over, something that I found out just recently in the last week or two about the defect rate, and something that really helped me out because I know some people are in trouble right now, and some people are getting to where their defect rate is raising up, and I didn't even really notice it myself because I thought, the new changes, I thought, whatever, I'm still good. But somebody pointed it out to me, and they were like, you need to go and look, when you go to my account, when you're in my eBay, go to my account and go to the seller dashboard, and you'll be able to see your defect rate. And recently, eBay has been they made it a lot easier to open a case there for a little bit. When somebody goes to just send you a message, they open a case, they choose a certain option. And, man, I was getting a bunch of cases open. I'm like, what's going on? So I kind of battled it out with eBay a little bit, and I think they're starting to change it. A few people at eBay, a few reps there have told me that they're working on changing it and making it where it's not as easy to open a case, and they're really working on that for us. And I think I'm starting to see it because the cases have definitely slowed down a bit. But one way to there's two things that I kind of wanted to go over, but the first one is something that is, I think it's in the pro training right now. I just kind of wanted to go over it a little bit more. When a lot of people run out of stock or whatever, and they, I always come up with the damaged excuse that it was damaged either at the warehouse or it was damaged in transit and got sent back to me. And then if I know it's a product that comes back into stock pretty often, or if I have a feeling that it's coming back into stock, I'll actually ask them if they want to wait a few days, and some will, and some will wait until you get it, but and then I just tell them, if not, I understand, I'll refund your money right away, and just apologize and be nice as you can be. Never ever say that you're out of stock, I put last one left on most of my listings that I have just quantity one on. And so it kind of helps me because I'll say, hey, thanks for your order. I just wanted to message you and let you know that your refrigerator or whatever was damaged in our warehouse, and I didn't want to send it to you like that. And then I'll say, I'm truly sorry about this. It has never happened to me before. And I'll just let them know that I either have more on the way or whatever. But I'll say I'm truly sorry about this because it was the last one I had in stock as shown on the listing. So it kind of
Mm-hmm.
helps, backs me up because it is on the listing. I do have last one left on
Right.
just about one of them, and I think that also helps your buying situation too. But um, with that being said, if you ever run into that problem, that's a really good, have something just laid out to where you can copy and paste it if that
Mm-hmm.
happens. But to keep that from happening, Roger showed us to create, if you're drop shipping from Amazon mostly, create a fake or like a dummy Amazon account, and all the products that you're drop shipping, add them to the cart, and you'll be able to. And he said, go in once or twice a day and just check them because you'll be able to see if it goes out of stock or not, or if the price changes. So that's a good way to help your account. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to give away a lot of stores or nothing because I don't know what level everybody's at. But there's a bunch in the elite, whatever, um, the elite training that there's a bunch of good stores in there that you can do that with as well. And that's the ones I mostly use. I hardly ever use Amazon. I do got a handful of products that I do drop ship from Amazon, but like 80-90% of mine are the stores in Elite. But I will say one of my main ones is Walmart, Wally World. Um, you just add, you just on that. I do have a dummy account for that, and I just go in there. I go in there and I just save it for later. You add it to the cart first, and then you save it for later. And then there you can also see when it goes in and out of stock, and you can see price changes and rollbacks and things like that. And so that's going to help your account as long as you go in and actually go through them every day and just scroll through once or twice a day and take stuff down if it's out of stock and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. The other thing I wanted to go over is I'll go over here in a second, but it's really good. It's what I actually figured out on my own a little bit. But you got anything to say about that, Troy?
Yeah, actually, it's kind of funny. The response that you have when an item goes out of stock is almost like verbatim, like exactly what I use. And I know you and I have never talked about that before. It was just that's exactly what I say, though. I never say an item's out of stock. I always tell people, an item went out of stock, or I always tell people, it was damaged. We received a shipment that was late. It was damaged. I'm sorry. I just don't feel comfortable sending this item out in that condition. But another thing I want to add to it is, and I literally just did this today, is about 4 days ago I sold an item. It was in stock, but I was in a rush. I had to leave the house, so I left the house, came back, and it was out of stock. And so I wouldn't send a message right away. Typically, if you wait 2-3 days, the item will come back in stock, and you can ship the item out. And what happened was that's exactly what happened. Today the item came back in stock. There's only one left, but I was able to ship the item out. I actually got the item for a lot cheaper because when it came back in stock, it was less expensive. But you could also do that when prices are fluctuating. Like for example, like on Amazon, you'll see a price jump $20-$30. If you just wait a day or two, Amazon is basing their price off of whoever's shipping the items in. So their stock is constantly changing. Their prices constantly fluctuate because they have multiple people shipping items in. That's why it's fulfilled. It's fulfilled by Amazon, but it's from multiple different suppliers. And so if you just wait a day or two, you'll see the item come down in price. If it doesn't, then you go to the option where you start refunding the money and sending the message and stuff like that. So I don't want people to think that it's because I get people who will call me and they'll say, "Oh God, what do I do?" And it's like, "Well, when did the item sell? 5 minutes ago." It's like, well, just wait a day or two. And a lot of times those problems will fix themselves and move forward with the shipment. But one question I did. Do you want to go on to questions yet, or is there something else you want to share?
Is there any questions about what we're talking about right now, or no?
Let's see. I've got one. Titling strategies. What should I? Let's see. Besides titling, what's the best strategy to use to maximize both profit and traffic? Yeah, actually, nothing really here goes towards what we're talking about, so we could just wait on this.
All right. Yeah, that's good stuff, Troy. And that, like I said, I wouldn't recommend it, but sometimes I do wait up. I've waited up to 4 and 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
But if it don't come in like you said within like 2 days, I'll actually just say it was damaged in the warehouse. But if it's been 3, 4, and 5 days, I'll say that it got sent back to me. And
Sure.
I've as long as you're nice about it, I've never had any bad feedback from doing that. Even when I've
Mm-hmm.
refunded people's money and stuff. So, but if you ever say out of stock, that's negative right there. Just you know.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I learned this is really why I wanted to get on the webinar tonight. And what is my saying over there?
What times do you? Oh, as far as delivery times on the listings, what I do is I say, Wes just asked, what times do you guys put on your delivery times in the listing? I personally I'll select the economy shipping, which will say 1 to 10 days. But on my listing itself, I say I have a shipping time, a handling time of 1 to 4 days, and then a shipping time of 3 to 10 days after that. And I also say tracking will be uploaded within 4 to 5 days. Is that what you do too, or do you do something different, Joe?
I had mine down a little bit. Like they had like 3 and 4 days handling time. But I've always used standard shipping, like Roger told in the beginning when I joined. Um, and standard shipping, and I have a 2 day handling time right now.
Mm-hmm.
As I noticed, like when I had a 3 and 4 day handling time, like I didn't get as many sales for some reason. So it's almost like if you got free shipping, your listings are higher.
Right.
Some it feels like that to me in that situation. Like if you have a less handling time, you know, then your listings are higher in rank, but it's hard to hit the top rated seller.
Yeah, you're supposed to have just 1 day handling time with top rated seller. I select 2 days, but in my listing I'll say 1 to 4 days.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually when I mark ship, people will ask me like, "Where's the tracking at?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm waiting on the email from my warehouse, and I should have it uploaded into eBay for you within like 24 to 48 hours."
Yeah.
And then they'll just like they won't message me back and just wait for it.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing that I really wanted to talk about tonight was the on your defect rate is I figured out like I've had a lot of people that are new to eBay maybe or just wanting to ask a question about where's their item at. Maybe they don't maybe sometimes I use different tracking that you can't track through eBay like Seiko and on track and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
some people don't know how to track, and they'll open a case not meaning to. But I figured out that if the buyer, if it shows delivered, they get their item. Like if they open the case for item not received, um, then when it's delivered, sometimes they'll close the case on their own. Well, I figured out if the buyer actually closes the case, it hurts you.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
it goes against your defect rate. And also, like if what's the other one? Item not as described. I think that one hurts your account pretty bad as well. Like if it comes damaged or they want a refund.
Mm-hmm.
But I found a good way to get around this, and I've seen it actually work on my account because I had my defect rate got up into the fours. And if it goes into the fives, your account it gets really messed up. I mean, your listings go down in rank. You don't get as much sales. They
Right.
can hold your money. They can lower your listing limits. You know, all kinds of things can happen. So that's why I really wanted to share this with you guys. But when somebody opens a case for item not received, and you've got tracking in there, you want to resubmit the tracking into the case and make sure that it's in there. And as soon as it gets delivered, um, call eBay and get to the resolution center department and tell them, hey, they opened a case. They just didn't. I don't know why they opened it. Maybe they didn't know how to track it or whatever. And get them to see that it was delivered, and they close the case in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't take long at all. Just they're like, okay, give me a minute. They'll put me on hold for like 30 seconds to a minute, and then they'll come back, say, we decided to close the case in your favor, and then the funds get released, and it doesn't count against you. Now, it does take a few days for it to show in your account and your seller dashboard, but if you call, every time you get one of them, call and get them to close the case for you, it does not count against your defect rate. So, because I've actually done that and seen my defect rate go back down, and I was like, oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, when item is not as described, let's say the buyer got it and they thought it was real wood, but it was particle board or whatever, and they want a refund. Well, what you do there is the same thing. You get the, get it picked up or send them the shipping label to return it. And when it's on its way back and you can see that, or you've already received it, I'll call eBay. And I just learned this because one of the eBay reps helped me out, because I was like, I really don't want this to count against me, And so you call eBay again, and while you're waiting, like on hold, what I'll do is if you've got the money in your account, I would go, because the funds are on hold, when the case is open.
Right.
So what I'll do is I'll actually just get their email address, from eBay or in PayPal when they paid me, get their email address. Even if they didn't pay with PayPal, send it as like a friend or a family, like you send money to friends or family through PayPal, and just send it to their email address.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead and refund them that way. And then when you talk to eBay in the resolution center, tell them that the item is being returned and you've already refunded them through PayPal, and tell them that you do not want it to hurt your account. And you've got and they'll ask for the transaction ID on the PayPal receipt when you get it inside. When you refund them, you'll get an email, and the transaction ID will be in the email, and they'll put that in, and they'll close it in your favor. And if you do it that way, once again, it will not count against your account, and you'll also get an email saying that it was closed in your favor, and this won't count against your account. They can't leave you no bad feedback. If they do, it gets deleted. So that's some really good stuff to help protect your account right there. And eBay, they really do have some ways that I figured out that will really help, kind of like a seller protection,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing that every time on my cases, and I've got mine down pretty good. And like I said, between keeping up with, making sure you're in stock and doing what we just talked about, getting the case closes by you calling eBay and getting them closed that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because once it shows delivered, you can close it, and they can't do nothing about it. They can't open another case. They can't leave you bad feedback and stuff like that.
Right.
It always works.
Are you using listing integration at all?
No, I haven't had a chance. I mean, I really haven't had time to get in there and figure it out. I've heard some good stuff about it, but
yeah, we had a few questions come in about listing integration, and I'll talk a little bit about it just because I was using it for a little while, and it works extremely well if you know how to use it. And I think what a lot of people are seeing, and I just see so many people asking the same questions.
Real quick, do you have to use that to use the supremacy come out?
No, listing integration it'll be different from supremacy.
Okay, go ahead then. Okay, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
but no, that's okay. But listing integration, all it's going to do is, right now, it works perfectly with Amazon. Walmart is having a little bit of struggles, and I'm just using the main supplier. Or if you have Elite, you'll know what suppliers are in listing integration, but I just want you to know that Walmart is one of the ones that it'll work with it, but at the same time, there are a couple issues with it right now. So Hitesh is working on getting those fixed. But as far as Amazon, works perfectly. And what I've noticed is people will write in and they'll say, it's marking my items up way too much, and I just don't feel like I'm competitive as far as the pricing. But one thing, or some people are actually losing money on some sales. And so what's going on there is listing integration is factoring in automatically 18% as far as a markup. So if you have, if you want to make, if you put in because you can choose a percentage or you can choose a dollar amount. So if you say, okay, I want to mark it up 25%, well then you're actually marking it up 43%. Because it's already going to do the 18% and then the 25%. So that's where there's going to be such a huge increase that you're going to see. So what I would recommend doing is for higher dollar products, I would do maybe like a dollar amount maybe. Like I don't want to make less than $10 or $15 because on some of the items that you might be losing money, like if you put in like a small percentage, the tax rate on a bigger item is, that money is going to come out to a lot more. Obviously, the tax is going to be more on a larger item than it will be on a smaller item. So that's where you've got the markup of 18% and maybe only another 2% or 5%, and it just doesn't account enough because 18% obviously you're only factoring in maybe 3% of taxes or 4% of taxes when it comes down to the eBay fees and PayPal fees. So hopefully that makes sense. If you're trying to use listing integration, higher dollar items just use a flat dollar amount of what you want your profit to be, and also realize Amazon fluctuates so quickly. Listing integration does one update every 24 hours. So when you're putting in your ASINs and your pricing, and you click change, it's not going to instantly change on eBay. What's going to happen is you put all that information in, you click change, and in 24 hours it's going to go through, check everything out, and everything that increase, it's going to increase your pricing on eBay. If it decrease, it'll actually decrease your pricing on eBay as well. And what I've seen happen is like Amazon will have an item that goes out of stock for about 20 minutes and then it comes back in stock. And listing integration will actually catch it during that 20 minutes, and then it takes your listing off. But you'll be able to relist for free. Listing integration will go back in, and it'll see that it came back in stock, and it'll put it back up there for you. But Hitesh is working on a lot of different features with the listing integration, so it's almost perfect, but just not there yet. But just know that it is working, and if you're seeing a price like you're losing money, or if you're seeing your prices go way too high, it's because of the built-in 18%, and also keep in mind that there are taxes and shipping from other suppliers outside of Amazon as well. So hopefully that helps, and hopefully that wasn't too confusing because there was still a learning curve for me too with listing integration. So
no, that's good stuff right there. I didn't know it worked like that. I never had the time to get in there like that. But it seems like a really good tool.
Yeah. I see a lot of people having it's probably been like 95% positive feedback. The 5% that I'm hearing negative stuff with, it was just a lot of times it was either a user error or just some things that weren't understood as far as it doesn't automatically change everything for you. It takes 24 hours. It does it every 24 hours. And that was really it.
All right. So thanks for that info.
Yeah, man. So what now? Do you want to do some questions?
Yeah, we can do some questions. You got any, Wes? You got any type of man?
Well, I just wanted to get to this one because he actually said my first question to Joe is, besides titling, what strategies should I use to maximize both profit and traffic/views?
Okay, that's something we did talk about last webinar we did, but I'll go over it again a little bit. But titling definitely has a lot to do with it. I don't think it does as much as it used to, because it's like everybody's used like everywhere.
Right.
that they're could be made up together, you know. But if you can find like I know I'm pretty good at keywords, and I've done SEO for years. But if you're not, you can use Roger recommends the keywordspy.com. Use that tool. You know, Google AdWords or whatever. But I use the keyword spy every once in a while when I kind of get stumped. But if you go through there and look at what's getting searched a bunch, you can find some really unique words to use that other people might not be using. Um, but one of the strategies I use um, is really just undercutting. I think undercutting has a whole lot to do with it now, as far as you know what I've seen, because there's a lot of competition out there, and if you've got a product that was like really selling, and it's not selling anymore, then most likely you got to undercut. So I usually will tweak the title just a little, and then go a little bit lower price. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and like right now, like I used to, like before it got, you know, before so many people got going in DS domination, you could sell stuff and make $200 profit on things, and now you know it's down to like $10 to $50 on certain things, and that's
Right.
not a problem really, because what I actually am doing now, instead of selling less with more profit, I've marked my prices down so much that I'm selling more, but I'm selling more things but less profit on each one. If you're in a elite, it shows don't make fun of me.
I'm waiting for you to say elite.
A lot,
That's what I'm expecting to hear.
yeah. But uh, you know, I'm selling more items now, but I'm making less on each. So
Right.
what I actually do is I go through and see what I'm listing. If it's a new listing for you, just make sure you not only research the person that you're undercutting, but go and search the product a few different ways on eBay and just see who's really selling the crap out of it and who has the lowest price on it, and see
Mm-hmm.
if you can still make a profit on it, and just start selling it over and over. Um, but that's one of the strategies I've learned is actually because eBay's got it now where you know when somebody goes to your listing and they'll have similar items underneath, and if somebody has a couple dollars underneath you, they're going to go under your listing and click that similar item and buy from them. You know, because most
Right.
times it's the same picture. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
I think the prices has more to do with it now than anything. So that's what I would do. Just you know, the title is important, but the price is really what's going to help you sell over and over. That's how I've been able to sell 50 plus thousand every single month for the last 3 4 months. Is I'm selling a lot and I'm not making as much profit on each, but it's the cash back and a lot, the cash back and the PayPal card cash back. I'm making at least $2,000 a month just in cash back alone. And you
Mm-hmm.
might not get it right away. You know, some of it you do, but if you're using some of the different programs, um, like what's that one? Ebates. That's a really good one. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't take too long to get paid, but there's one I can't say on here right now, but it takes a couple months to get paid out on. But that money is just like building up and building up. You know, I've almost got like 10K in there, and I'm not even touching it. You know, but
I know which one you're talking about, and that's what's cool with that one also is when you can set up a this won't give it away, but you can they're tied in with Sally Mae, and you can set up like a Sally Mae savings account with them, and so I have it so it automatically goes from the cashback site to the Sally Mae account, and that collects interest as well. So
yeah, they give you
that's
like
just more.
an annual match, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty nice savings program, but I mean, if you're not hard on like, you need the cash right away and you just want to build up a savings account with it, I mean, that's a great way to do it too.
I did request my first check from them, and you know, and it just feels good to see it work, you know, instead of just seeing money in there. And I got the
Hmm.
check within about 7 8 days, and I was like,
Yeah.
was like, this is awesome, you know.
Yeah.
So you just, you know, it's like, oh, it works. It really works. It's just not money I'm looking at on the screen, you know.
Yeah, because
But
on the screen it looks cool, but it's better when it's in your bank account.
yeah, right. So that's what I like about it. I mean, I'm still building up my PayPal money regardless, but I'm
Hmm.
making the rest of it in cash back, and that's why you know, also you're able to undercut people and sell lower than other people, and once you get above a certain amount, I believe it's like 3 or 5 thousand. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can actually call PayPal and get your merchant fees lowered.
Hmm.
And I've done that, and I'm at the lowest one right now that you could get at. I think it's like 2% or 2.2 or something like that.
Yeah, it goes from like you start at 2.9, then I think when you hit 10, or it might be 10,000 in sales, you can call up and they'll go down to 2.7, then 2.5, and then 2.3. I don't really remember the increments in each one,
Yeah, that's
but I mean, yeah, you have to call in though. You can't just, if you don't call in, they won't just reduce your um, rate. So if you're doing, I would think if you're doing at least 5,000 a month, I would call in and see if they'll reduce your rate.
I think one of my guys on my team, I think he's doing about 3 or 5, and he just called and got his lowered a little. But it
Okay.
helped a lot. Like I remember, I mean, this is just an example, but let's say, you know, you made a sell for something for 300. Let's say, let's go high, like a $497 item that you sold. You
Hmm.
know, usually I would get something like, you know, 470 something. You know, like
Right.
473 or something like that out of the total cash because PayPal took it all. And
Hmm.
now I'm getting like 485 or 489. You know,
Right.
I've noticed like on those higher like $300-400 stuff, like it's like a $20 difference. You know,
Hmm.
so you're able to sell a lot lower than other people too. So I hope that helps some people out there that hasn't thought about that or watched that.
Yeah. So,
So
and
yeah,
another question is, and this is actually something that was answered last time too. I think this gentleman who wrote in these questions wasn't on the last webinar. But I guess we can cover it real quick. I mean, this will take like a minute. But with the elite costing $100 a month, when should be the best time to go into elite? What I think is you have to feel comfortable at pro. Once you have an understanding of like pro and you've got some listings up and you're making sales and you kind of understand the process and you know you're acclimated with eBay. It really goes based on what you're trying to accomplish. Like the person who's trying to accomplish an extra $500 a month, you really don't need to go to elite. I mean, you can do that at pro. You know, if this is something that's just part time for you and maybe you have a good stable job and you're just doing this on the side, you can pretty much accomplish that with pro. If you're trying to get more into a full time income, I would go to elite pretty quickly. Obviously, don't strain yourself too much. This isn't about um, seeing how much money you can spend in order to make a little bit of money. This is about if you're actually putting the work in and you're really understanding the program, you should be at elite because you're going to open yourself up to a lot more suppliers, a lot more business, a lot more profit, and it's that at that point. I mean, that's when you're really looking at going full time with the company or with your business. So,
yeah, that's good, Troy.
is
I
that what you feel
definitely,
too, Joe?
yeah, I usually, you know, I had some of my team members ask me that, you know, and I'm just like, don't break yourself if you're like, you know, don't, you know, if you're like,
Yeah.
you know, if your family needs food on the table or something, you know, don't sacrifice anything like that. But if you're just like, you know, just sitting there and you just don't know, well, then yeah, you need to go because that's when it really starts happening, you know.
Yeah.
But you still like even now I still have my pro. Uh, I keep my pro going. You know, it's the basics. That's what I started with, and you
Mhm.
know, and I think I said it last time, but like Roger always says, you know, he's like, you know, it lights like you know you're out there in the store, like in Walmart or whatever, and then you get up to the counter and you got all that little stuff, you know, but on the shelves there that you know you kind of just pick as you get to the checkout, you know.
Yeah.
Like your pro right there. Like you've always got to have that, you know.
Hmm.
But I definitely, you know, I made like $700 my first month in a pro, brand new e-bear and everything,
Right.
and it just kept going up from that. And I think my second or third, no, it was my third month. I was like, all right, I'm getting it because I had the money, and now it just I don't even notice it come out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then also, you know, I've got enough affiliate income that kind of pays for itself, you know. But
Yeah. And for anybody who doesn't know this, if you are an affiliate and you have money coming in, like if you've built a downline, you can actually pay with your approved balance now. I don't think they really made that very public, but it's there, you can do it. Um, Hey,
I
do you
didn't
know
know that.
if I type in to the chat, can everyone see in the chat, or is it just us? Or because I want to type in what you have to do in order to do that.
No,
Let's
I
see.
think I, no, I think other people are just watching on YouTube.
Okay, I'll figure out. I'll put. You know what I'll do is in the Guerrilla Team room, I'll post the link that you need to go to. Because what you'll do is you'll log into your DS Domination back office first, and then there's a specific link that you go to where you can see your billing record. Well, you can see your billing, your monthly billing, and like when you'll get billed next and stuff like that. But there's a little checkbox you can check to pay with your approved balance. And once you check that, then it just comes out of your approved balance instead of coming off of your card and stuff like that. So, um, and that's for if you're building out a downline, you have an approved balance. So,
Look at the write-off.
yeah.
Sorry, I've been
And
gone.
then
It's been ridiculous. You can see
and then
beside my desk.
last question here, and this is also another one that was answered last time, but not bad to touch on it again. But what percentage margin do you put on each item that takes care of all eBay, PayPal, DS domination fees, and at the same time not make my items too expensive? Do you want to input on that first, or do you want me to?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry, I was reading Wes's question over here.
Okay. What percentage margin do you put on each item that takes care of all eBay, PayPal, and DS domination fees, and at the same time not make my items too expensive?
I'm not really good at math, but I've got it kind of down in my head. Like I know, like around what tax will be and what fees will be. You know, I've just almost got it memorized, and I can usually hit it within a few dollars. But I'd say like the like items around like $50 to $100. I'll try to make I try to make at least $5 at the minimum. You know, and I do have very few that are like 50 and $60 where I only make that $3 margin. You know, but some of them I do put quantity on. You know, and I sell over and over, but and they've just been marked down so much that you got to sell them at like that price. But
Right.
and when I mean like that, I mean there's a lot of other products too that I make, you know, $100, $150, $200 on, but they're just harder to find, you know, and you don't sell them quite as much. But and I'd say like the $150 to $200 products, you know, that's your cost. I usually keep that around $20. And kind of, I mean, at the minimum, you know, if you got to bring it down to that to sell it, then yeah, I'll sell it. But I won't make, you know, I won't sell a $300 product for $3 profit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Unless it's just a sales over and over and over because you're building up that cash back and you're getting, you know, you're getting a lot of good stuff back and your volume's going up and it does help your account, I believe. It helps your account where you sell more stuff, but I try not to do that. So I'd kind of go by that. You know, any like a $400 item, I wouldn't make less than 30, 40 bucks. $500 item, you know, I wouldn't make less than 40, 50, 60 bucks. So I try to keep it like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sell something where I only make $3 and it costs, you know, $500 and I have to deal with like freight calls and, you know, and dealing with the customer, you know, and it's gonna be worth my time, you know.
Sure.
Well, that's kind of, I don't know what percentage I would say. I'm not that good at math, but what do you say, Troy?
Well, no, I'm not either. To be honest with you, I'm like, that's the thing. I get so many like calls and messages, and people like ask me like percentages, and it's like I don't know, man. I list items, and I just if I'm in the green, I'm good to go. Like I know one thing that I'll do at times, like if I'm drop shipping from certain elite suppliers, and like maybe it's a supplier who I know charges shipping in most states, and I know they always charge tax. You can always fake a checkout. You can take that item, put it in the cart, and you can like put in the zip code that you're trying to ship to, and 14420. There's a zip code is 14420. I think that's it. If you put in that, yeah, if you put in that zip code, that's like one of the highest tax rates that you'll find across the nation. And so I just whatever that price is, and that, like let's say the total price comes out to 150, and then I just start playing with the pricing. Okay, if I put it for 180, how much can I make? 180 times 0.85. That's kind of what I do. And if it's more than 150, I'll list it. So and that's how you can kind of always stay in the profit also, because instead of just trying to guess.
Yeah, after you go over it so much, you kind of, after you look at what you got in PayPal and look at the fees that took out, and you figure it up, your profit on each thing, you kind of start, like you sell something for $200. Fees are usually about $17, $18. You sell something for $300, it's usually about $25, $28. Like just a little bit less than. So I kind of figured that up. Like if something costs like $149, I'll go, in my head I'll just be like, okay, well, it's $149, it's free shipping. Tax will be, I'll usually add like $15. And then fees will be about close to 15. So I'll do that, and then I'll put, 150, 165, 175, 180, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to sell this for $199. And if it doesn't sell, I'll drop it down a little. But you just get good at it in your head, But but that's good right there. Just kind of memorize. After you do it so much, you kind of start knowing.
Yeah, and I think that's where the problem comes in with a lot of the messages and calls that I get are from people who maybe you just started and you're getting frustrated because you're not getting it right away, and you're trying to understand everything, and just understand that it's a process, it's a learning curve. This is a skill that you'll learn, and everyone learns differently. For me, it took me a little while to really grasp like how to price stuff, and it's okay to move slow in the beginning. Like understand the process, you'll get better at it. Don't beat yourself up over it, because it's something that you'll learn and you'll get better at it. It's kind of like riding a bike.
Yeah.
Once you're on there and once you really learn it, you got it, and you can just keep. Then you start getting on ramps and stuff like that. I don't know, just what you can keep getting better at what you're doing on a bike. And then I got another message here to you, Joe. What percentage is Joe averaging per sale? I'm not sure exactly what that means.
I don't know percentages.
I know, man. Look, I'm telling you, everyone wants to know percentages, and it's almost like a detail-oriented thing. I'm not really detail-oriented, so
I think what am I making? Like
I guess so. Yeah.
Profit? Well, I have no idea. I sell stuff that I only make $3 on. I still sell stuff I only make $10 on, $20, $40, $100. But I did figure out that it's almost been a year since I've been in DS Domination, and I've sold $280,000 worth, and I sold like almost 2,000 products. But I figured it up, and my average sale is about $179. $179 is my, average if you divide that,
Right.
But I'd say, on the smaller stuff, like I said, my average number is $3 to $5 on anything below 100. That's my average on that, $3 to $5, and then anything above that, I try to keep, $10 to $20 profits on it at least, you know. And if
Right.
it's real big. And I sell most of my stuff I sell is around 150, 200, and $250
Mm-hmm.
on average, you know. But I do have a few products that just sell every day over and over that I only make $3, maybe 5 or 6 with cash back, but I've sold like in about a month and a half, I've sold 196 of just one, you know, and I've got this bookcase that I'm selling that I've sold like 30 of that I just started doing multiple quantities of, and I'm making about $5, $7 with cash back on each one of them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's kind of hard to tell. I've got about 200 listings that I've been trying to keep up with, to keep at a 200, and it's a little difficult when you know you want. I mean, if I stayed on the computer constantly, I could get up to that 3, 4, 500 listings, which I would like. But
Right.
you know, with dealing with some of the returns, relisting stuff that didn't sell, um, you know, tweaking my current listings and relistings and processing orders and relisting them. You know, it's kind of hard for myself, just me alone, and have freedom, you know, to get over that
Right.
200. But there's a good variety of everything in there, you know. Like I sell stuff out of nowhere. And, oh yeah, yeah, that's good.
And I guess we'll do one more question and we'll wrap it up for tonight because otherwise, because I see questions coming up constantly. What was that?
You see that one West put? Roger Holmes asks, is it important to crop the images with keywords?
Yeah.
I think we answered that before, but yeah, I use the snipping tool like I said last time, and I know a lot of people that use the photo cropper, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I use about 3, 4, and maybe 5 at the most good keywords. Like if I'm selling a full size bed, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put full size bed black or whatever color it is, and that's all I'll put. And as long as it's the first picture, the other pictures I don't think really matter. But yeah, it's very important because you can start showing up in Google and stuff, and it'll show up higher in that eBay list.
Yeah, and also, we went over this I think 2, 3 weeks ago. But like, let's say you have an image that you're cropping. Obviously, eBay wants the image to be at least 500 by 500 pixels. Well, actually, it just has to be 500 pixels, whether it's width or height. It's one or the other. But if you copy an image directly from Amazon that is 600 by 600 and you crop it, and your image is now 590 by 590, it looks to Google, even though it looks the same, it's not about the fact that you can't be found by other sellers. It's not like that. But to Google, it looks like a new image that's similar to the one that's 600 by 600, or maybe there's one out there that's 1,000 by 1,000. eBay is really trying to play with Google in a way to where their items are showing up on Google search results. So they're starting to take into account different size images as well. So that's why it's important, like even if it's 593 by 593, it's important to have a different sized image as well. And I've noticed like whenever because I used to never crop my images, but when I did start cropping, my sales went up. I don't know the science behind it, but I just know that my sales went up, and so I just kept doing it. So.
Good stuff, yeah. And alternate pictures too. If you've seen those trainings with Roger does, and shows how to get alternate pictures and stuff, that helps a lot too.
Yeah.
And I know I'm selling something on on eBay right now that I guess somebody hasn't found this picture, but it's a totally different picture. And the people over there with all the same pictures, they're fighting for prices, and I'm over here like, things, you know.
Sure, man.
Right, you know. So alternate pictures, if you can find them, you know, look at other stores, try to find an alternate picture if you can.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to add, man?
Did you say there was one more question you had? You want to do one
No,
more?
that was the one more question. But I think that was it for the most part. My phone's been blowing up, but a lot of people are asking the same questions, so it's not like.
Well, they definitely need to check out the recording. I think Wes had it pinned up, but we'll go over some more stuff maybe next week or whatever, and I'm sure I'll find out something else by then too. and I'm sure you will as well.
Actually, one more thing, because I don't know. eBay says I will sell more if I put in the model number detailed into the page, but Roger says to ignore it. Who do I listen to? The way that I see it is the information that Roger's going through, it might be a little outdated, and it's not to put Roger down at all or anything like that, because eBay has been going through their new changes as far as with the they have their new Cassini search, which is working with Google. So one thing that I like to do is in that top section where you can put the model. I wouldn't put the actual model number unless it's something like I don't know. I don't really do model numbers, but I'll add stuff like item specifics. Like I'll add that it's the color is black. I'll add that the width is 30 inches or just whatever. I like to add item specifics because I know eBay is trying to. That's their section that they're trying to work with to work with Google. So, anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, I never put no model numbers.
Yeah.
I've seen some people who sell them though like that. They'll have it in there, and I'm like, I think I even do. I do have one or two that has the model number in there, but it's got to be something that's like a certain like a generator. You know what I'm saying? Like that has like different. They don't look the same, but there's different powers and models.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that'd be the only time. But I do see people selling like that, though. They'll have the model number in there, but
Yeah.
it makes it easier for the. I think it just makes it easier for the customer to search it and find it in the cheapest place possible.
Or to be undercut by other sellers.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't even put brand names either. Like I might even make up brand names every once in a while.
Yeah.
I even had people message me and they're like, asking about the brand name, and I'm like, I won't even answer.
Yeah, I brand names, they kind of I stay away from them too, just because you never know who's out there that represents the brand.
Yeah.
Just to keep from getting in trouble or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm very just rarely put the model number, but you can test it. I think they could test it out a little bit if they want on some. I just wouldn't do it on all your listings.
Mm-hmm.
Test it out on some and see if it makes a difference for you. But I had it on a few that were selling, but they eventually slowed down, and I don't know why, but I just don't like them in there. It says it's supposed to help your search, but I don't think I don't think that's in our situation. We're trying to, not for them to find what we're, the original price. That'll help, like, if you were selling something out of your house,
Yeah.
I think that's what that's for,
Mm-hmm. So, good stuff, man. I guess that's it. Wes, do you want to add anything? I can be your voice.
He said he will archive it, the recordings in the Facebook group.
Okay, Wes loves everyone. Unfortunately, he wasn't here to tell everyone that, but it's true. And Wes, I appreciate everything you do, man. He's the one that kind of put all this together. And Joe, thank you so much for coming on here and sharing with us, man. It's definitely appreciated. C'est la vie. He he he. Love you guys. That's from Wes.
Love you too, Sage. March.
So that's it, guys. And we will try to do this. We don't have like a set time to do this like every week or anything. It's pretty sporadic, and we'll try to do another one of these again soon. I kind of like to plan them, or Joe would plan it, or Wes would plan it, based on the fact that like if people start asking a lot of questions and start coming at, like with new stuff, and it seems like a lot of people need some help, we can go ahead and plan these things out, and we can do our best to help you and be a support for you. So until next time.
I appreciate it, Troy. Good job.
Yeah, man.
Thanks
You
for
too, Joe.